My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes life presses so tightly around your heart that even your own breath feels heavy. You wake up carrying worries that no one can see. You smile while your soul is exhausted, and you quietly ask Allah, how long will this last? In those moments, Shaytan whispers that hardship is a sign of distance, that pain means you are forgotten. But Allah, the most gentle, is speaking to you even in this wait, even in this silence, even in this struggle, and His words are filled with hope, not despair. Allah does not deny the hardship. He does not tell us it will not hurt. He acknowledges the pain before anyone else does. And then He promises something extraordinary, something that changes how we understand our suffering. He says that with hardship comes ease, not after it, not someday in the far future, but with it. While you are struggling, ease is already being woven into your life, even if your eyes cannot see it yet. Allah is shaping you, softening you, elevating you, and preparing you for a mercy that could never fit into the person you used to be. So when your heart feels tired and your dukkha feels heavy on your tongue, remember that Allah is closer than your pain. Every tear you hold back, every prayer you whisper in the dark, every moment you choose patience over bitterness is already part of that ease. Your hardship is not the end of your story. It is the place where Allah's care becomes most intimate, where He draws you nearer to Him, and where relief is already walking toward you, step by step, by His perfect timing. Hardship is often misunderstood. My dear brothers and sisters, we grow up thinking that when life becomes difficult, when doors close, when pain lingers longer than we expected, it must mean that Allah is displeased with us. We assume that ease is proof of love and difficulty is proof of rejection. But Allah does not measure His love the way we measure comfort. If hardship were a sign of Allah's anger, then the most beloved of Allah would have lived the easiest lives. Yet when we look at the lives of the prophets, we find hearts tested again and again, tears falling in sujood, long nights of loneliness, and moments where even they turned to Allah with questions filled with pain and hope. Hardship is not the absence of Allah's mercy. It is often the place where His mercy is most active, even if we do not recognize it at first. When Allah places difficulty in your life, it is not because He is unaware of your weakness. He created you, He knows exactly how much you can bear, and He knows exactly what you need to grow closer to Him. Sometimes ease keeps us distracted. Comfort makes us forgetful. We pray less, we remember Allah less, and we rely more on ourselves than on Him. Hardship strips away those illusions. It removes the false sense of control we think we have and brings us back to our true position, servants who are deeply in need of their Lord. In that return, there is mercy, even if it comes wrapped in pain. Many people carry guilt in their hearts during hardship. They wonder what sin they committed, what mistake caused this test, why Allah chose them for this pain. While self-reflection is healthy, drowning in guilt is not what Allah wants for you. Sometimes hardship is not punishment at all. Sometimes it is purification. Sometimes it is elevation. Sometimes it is protection from something far worse that you cannot see. Allah's wisdom operates beyond the narrow lens of our immediate feelings. What feels like loss today may be saving you from a loss that would have broken you tomorrow. There is a deep intimacy between hardship and closeness to Allah. Think about the moments when your dua became most sincere, when your heart felt most raw and honest, when you spoke to Allah without rehearsed words or polished phrases. Those moments often come during difficulty. Hardship removes the filters. It teaches you to speak to Allah as you truly are, tired, scared, hopeful, broken, trusting. This honesty is beloved to Allah. He listens to the trembling voice, the whispered prayer, the tear that falls when no one else is watching. This is not distance. This is nearness. Hardship also teaches patience, not the kind that is passive or silent, but the kind that keeps turning back to Allah again and again. Patience is not pretending that pain does not exist. It is acknowledging the pain while choosing not to let it pull you away from Allah. It is choosing prayer when you feel empty, choosing hope when you feel disappointed, choosing trust when answers are delayed. This kind of patience reshapes the heart. It softens arrogance, deepens humility, and builds a relationship with Allah that ease alone can never create. Allah knows that some hearts would never turn toward Him if life always went smoothly. So He gently, sometimes firmly, redirects them. A closed door may push you toward a prayer you had neglected. A broken plan may lead you to a path that brings you closer to Allah. A painful delay may protect you from rushing into something that was not meant for you. When you look back years later, you may realize that the hardship you once resented was the turning point of your life, the moment where Allah saved you from yourself. Hardship also reminds us of the temporary nature of this world. When everything is comfortable, we settle in, we become attached, we forget that this life is a passage, not a destination. Difficulty shakes that attachment. It reminds us that true rest is not here, true justice is not here, true peace is not here. Our hearts were created for something higher, something eternal. This reminder is not cruelty, it is mercy. Allah does not want your heart to be satisfied with something that was never meant to fulfill it completely. Sometimes hardship comes to awaken a strength within you that you did not know existed. You discover resilience you never imagined, patience you never practiced, faith you never tested. Allah knows the potential within you even when you doubt yourself. He places you in situations that draw out that potential, not to exhaust you, but to prepare you. Many of the people who become sources of comfort, wisdom, and guidance for others are those who have walked through pain themselves. Their softness, their understanding, their empathy are gifts shaped by hardship. There is also mercy in the way hardship humbles us. When life is easy, it is easy to judge others, to assume we would handle their tests better, to believe that our faith is stronger simply because we have not been tested yet. Hardship removes that arrogance. It teaches compassion. It teaches us to be gentle with others, to withhold judgment, to understand that everyone is carrying something unseen. This gentleness is beloved to Allah, and it is often born from personal struggle. Allah's closeness during hardship is not always felt as comfort. Sometimes it is felt as endurance, the ability to keep going when you thought you could not. Sometimes it is felt as a quiet steadiness, a refusal to give up, a calm that does not make sense given the circumstances. This is not coincidence. This is Allah holding you in ways you cannot see. Even when you feel distant, even when your emotions are numb, Allah has not left you. Faith is not measured by constant emotional highs. Faith is measured by showing up, by continuing to turn toward Allah even when your heart feels heavy. Hardship also refines intention. When things are easy, our actions can be mixed with pride, recognition, and comfort. When things are hard, sincerity becomes clearer. You pray not because it feels good, but because you need Allah. You do good not because it brings praise, but because it brings peace to your heart. This sincerity is precious. It cleans the heart in ways ease cannot. It is important to remember that Allah does not rush. His timing is precise, deliberate, and filled with wisdom. We want answers immediately, relief quickly, clarity now. Allah sees the entire picture. He knows when relief will heal you and when delay will strengthen you. Hardship teaches trust, not blind trust, but trust built on knowing who Allah is. He is Al-Akam, the most wise. He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. He is Al-Latif, the most gentle. A gentle Lord does not hurt his servant without purpose. There is mercy even in unanswered prayers during hardship. Sometimes Allah withholds what you ask for, because what you are asking for is not what you truly need. Sometimes He is preparing you to receive it later in a way that will not harm you. Sometimes He replaces it with something better, even if it looks different from what you imagined. The delay is not rejection. It is care. When hardship comes, it invites you to redefine success. Success is no longer about outcomes, achievements, or control. Success becomes about faithfulness, about continuing to trust Allah, about remaining kind, patient, and hopeful despite difficulty. This definition of success is one that no hardship can take away from you. Even when everything else feels uncertain, your relationship with Allah remains firm. Hardship also cleanses the heart from over-attachment to people. It teaches you that while human support is important, it is limited. People may try to help and fail. They may misunderstand, disappoint, or leave. This realization can be painful, but it redirects the heart to the one who never leaves, never misunderstands, never fails. Allah becomes not just someone you believe in, but someone you rely on. In moments of hardship, Allah invites you into deeper remembrance. Simple phrases begin to carry weight. A quiet istighfar softens the chest. A whispered dhikr brings calm. A short du'a becomes a lifeline. These small acts, repeated consistently, Build a connection that sustains you. This is not coincidence. This is Allah teaching you how to lean on Him. Hardship also teaches gratitude in a deeper way. You begin to notice small mercies you once overlooked. A moment of peace, a kind word, a breath without pain, a prayer answered in a subtle way. Gratitude during hardship is powerful because it is chosen, not automatic. It transforms how the heart experiences difficulty. Allah never wastes pain. Every moment of hardship is recorded. Every tear is known. Every struggle is valued. Nothing goes unnoticed. Even when the world does not see your effort, Allah sees it fully. This awareness gives meaning to suffering. It reminds you that your pain is not random, not meaningless, not forgotten. Hardship, when understood through faith, becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. It teaches you who Allah is, who you are, and what truly matters. It strips away illusions and brings clarity. It hurts, yes, but it also heals in ways that are not immediate but are lasting. In this space of struggle, Allah's mercy is not absent. It is active, shaping, protecting, guiding, drawing you closer, even when the path feels heavy, even when the answers are delayed, even when the heart feels tired. Many of us grow up believing that ease is something we earn only after suffering ends, that relief comes once the trial is over and the storm has passed. We imagine hardship as a dark tunnel and ease as the light waiting far away at the exit. But Allah gently corrects this understanding. He teaches us that ease is not postponed until after hardship. It exists alongside it. While you are struggling, something within your life is already being made lighter, even if you cannot recognize it yet. Allah does not leave His servants alone inside their pain. He places subtle forms of relief within the trial itself. Sometimes ease appears as strength you did not know you had. You look at yourself and wonder how you are still standing, how you are still praying, how you are still holding on. That endurance is not your own creation. It is a gift from Allah placed in your heart at the same time as the test. Without realizing it, you are being carried. The situation may not change immediately, but your ability to face it grows, and that growth is a form of ease. At other times, ease comes as clarity. Hardship strips life down to what truly matters. Distractions fall away, unnecessary worries lose their power, and your heart becomes more focused. You may lose things you thought you needed, only to realize that what remains is more valuable. This clarity is not accidental. Allah is simplifying your life so that your heart can breathe even in the middle of difficulty. Ease also shows itself through moments of peace that interrupt the pain, a calm breath in the middle of anxiety, a verse of the Quran that settles the heart, a prayer that feels lighter than the one before, a small smile that surprises you on a heavy day. These moments are not random. They are signs that Allah is present, reminding you that hardship does not own your heart. Sometimes ease comes through people. Allah sends support in unexpected forms, a kind word from someone who does not know your story, advice that arrives exactly when you need it, a presence that makes the burden feel shared rather than carried alone. Even when people fail us, the moments when they show up are part of the ease Allah places in our path. Ease also lives in the way Allah protects you during hardship. You may not get what you want, but you are saved from what would harm you. Doors that close may prevent deeper pain. Delays may shield you from choices that would have weighed heavier on your soul. Protection does not always feel like mercy in the moment, but it is a powerful form of ease. There is ease in the way hardship draws you closer to Allah. Your dua becomes more honest, your tears more sincere, your dependence more real. This closeness brings a softness to the heart that comfort alone cannot produce. Feeling connected to Allah, even while hurting, is a form of relief that runs deeper than circumstances. Ease also comes through forgiveness. In hardship, Allah opens the door for your sins to be erased. Every moment of patience, every quiet endurance, every prayer offered through pain carries reward. Your burden becomes a means of purification. What feels heavy on your heart may be lifting weight from your akira, and this exchange is a mercy beyond measure. Sometimes ease is hidden in the way your perspective changes. What once felt unbearable slowly becomes manageable. What once caused panic begins to feel familiar. This adjustment is not weakness. It is Allah teaching your heart how to survive, how to adapt, how to find balance even when life is not ideal. Ease also exists in the promise itself. Knowing that Allah has guaranteed relief, even if its form is unknown, gives the heart something to hold on to. Hope becomes a quiet companion. Trust becomes a source of stability. This internal ease may not remove the trial, but it changes how you carry it. Allah also places ease in routine acts of worship. The consistency of prayer, the rhythm of dhikr, the structure of faith creates stability when everything else feels uncertain. These practices ground you. They remind you that no matter how chaotic life feels, your connection with Allah remains constant. Ease can also be found in acceptance. When the heart stops fighting reality and starts trusting Allah's plan, a subtle calm enters. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means releasing the struggle against what you cannot control and placing it in Allah's hands. This release lightens the heart. Sometimes ease appears much later, when you look back and realize how much you were given during the hardest days. You may not have seen it then, but in reflection, you recognize the growth, the lessons, the strength, the faith that was built. This delayed understanding is also part of the ease Allah promised. Ease also shows itself in the way hardship deepens your compassion. You become more patient with others, more understanding of their struggles, more willing to help without judgment. This expansion of the heart is a gift that enriches your life long after the trial has passed. There is ease in knowing that hardship has a limit. It is not endless, it is not permanent. Allah controls its beginning and its end. This knowledge prevents despair from taking root. Even when the days feel long, your heart knows that Allah's promise is true. Ease sometimes comes quietly, without announcement. It does not always arrive as dramatic change. Often it is gradual, almost unnoticeable. One day you realize that you are breathing more easily, praying with less heaviness, trusting with more calm. This quiet relief is still relief. Allah also places ease in the unseen rewards awaiting patience. Every moment of endurance is stored, multiplied, and honored. This knowledge gives meaning to suffering. It reminds you that nothing is wasted, not a single tear, not a single sigh, not a single prayer. Ease exists in the way Allah carries your heart even when you feel broken. You may feel weak, but you are not abandoned. You may feel tired, but you are not unsupported. This constant divine care is the truest form of ease. Sometimes ease comes through learning to let go, letting go of expectations, timelines, comparisons, and control. This release creates space for peace. Allah fills that space with what your heart actually needs. Ease also lives in the way hardship strengthens your relationship with the Quran. Verses take on new meaning. Stories of the prophets feel more personal. Allah's words become a source of comfort rather than just recitation. This deeper connection is a gift born from struggle. Even in the hardest moments, ease can be found in the ability to still choose kindness, gratitude, and faith. These choices empower you. They remind you that while you cannot control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. Allah's promise of ease is not limited to this life. Some forms of relief are saved for the hereafter, where every hardship will be understood, every injustice corrected, every pain rewarded. This future ease gives purpose to present trials. So when hardship surrounds you, remember that ease is already there, woven into your days in ways you may not recognize yet, strengthening you, protecting you, purifying you, guiding you, holding you steady while Allah unfolds His plan quietly, gently, with wisdom beyond what your heart can see right now.